Hello, my name's Joseph, and boy, do I have a story to tell. It all started with my dad, Jacob. The coat of many colours that my father gave me was special, but at the time, I had no idea how it would affect my brother's feelings.
"Joseph, my boy," Dad said one day, "this coat's for you. You're my special one." I was over the moon. "Wow, Dad, it's awesome." Little did I know the trouble it would cause. My brothers weren't thrilled, to say the least. I'd catch them muttering things like, "Look at him, strutting around in that coat again. Daddy's little prince, huh? And we all work our butts off, but Joseph gets all the perks. What gives?" Then came the dreams. Man, I should have kept my mouth shut, but I was too excited. "Guys, you won't believe the dream I had." I told them about the wheat bundles bowing to mine, and then about the sun, moon, and 11 stars doing the same. Big mistake. My brothers were furious. Even Dad warned me to keep quiet about it. Things went south real fast after that. Next thing I knew, I was being sold off to some traders by my own brothers. Talk about a plot twist, right? Life took me on a wild ride after that. I ended up in Egypt, working for a guy named Potiphar. Things were looking up until his wife tried to seduce me. When I refused, she accused me of attacking her. Just like that, I was thrown in jail. But even in that dark cell, God had a plan. I met Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, interpreted their dreams, and eventually got called to interpret Pharaoh's dreams too. "Your Majesty," I told him, "your dream is a warning. 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. We need to prepare now." Pharaoh was so impressed, he put me in charge of all Egypt. Talk about a promotion. 7 years flew by, and then the famine hit, just like I'd predicted. One day, while dealing with the food shortages, I looked up and couldn't believe my eyes. My brothers were standing right there in front of me. It had been over 20 years, and they didn't recognize me, but I knew exactly who they were. I decided to test them. I accused them of being spies, demanded they bring their youngest brother, my full brother Benjamin, and even planted my silver cup in Benjamin's sack to see how they'd react. When I saw how they'd changed, how Judah offered to take Benjamin's place to spare our father more grief, something in me broke. All the anger I'd been holding on to just melted away. It's me, Joseph, I finally revealed, choking back tears. "The brother you sold. I know it's hard to believe, but this was all part of God's plan." The shock on their faces was something I'll never forget. Reuben and Judah could barely speak. And Benjamin? The little brother I'd never met? He looked at me like I was a ghost. "Brother? But, they told me you died before I was born," he whispered. As I hugged him, I felt years of pain and loneliness wash away. "Yeah, Benjamin, I'm your big bro. We finally get to be together." In that moment, I knew what I had to do. "All right," I said, wiping my eyes. "Let's go get Dad. We're all going to live here together. I believe God's got big plans for us." And you know what? He did. But that's a whole other story.